The galaxy was silent in a way it had never been silent before. On the edge of the Solaris system, thousands of alien ships floated in formation, their engines humming, their weapons warm, their crews frozen with fear. Every sensor operator stared at the same impossible object, a dark mass in space, silent and still, refusing to show any identity, refusing to respond to any call. For 3 days, the object did nothing. It did not move. It did not speak. It did not shine. It simply existed, like a shadow cut out from the universe. Every alien species sent their best experts. Scientists tried to scan it. Commanders tried to approach it. Priests tried to warn their people. But the truth remained the same. No scan could touch it. No radar could find its shape. No mind could understand it. The Galactic Senate declared a state of emergency. Entire worlds stopped their daily life. Schools closed. Factories shut down. People stayed inside their shelters, watching the news with shaking hands. Everyone feared this object was a weapon from an ancient extinct empire, something older than all known civilizations. Inside the Senate Hall, hundreds of species argued and shouted. The room glowed with holograms of the dark object. It was large, but size was not the reason for fear. The fear came from something deeper, something no one could name. The Senate Speaker, a tall creature with crystal skin, tried to calm the room. "We must not act without understanding," she said. "We must not attack unless provoked. We must show wisdom." But her words meant nothing. Fear already ruled the galaxy. Outside, 500 warships formed a wall around the object. Their lights flashed like nervous hearts. Pilots tightened their straps. Generals stood with shaking breath. No one wanted to be the first to fire. No one wanted to be the reason the galaxy burned. Admiral Arichiquin, commander of the outer defense line, stared at the object with cold eyes. He had survived 4 wars. He had seen planets fall. But never in his life had he seen something so empty and yet so terrifying. "Why does it not move?" he whispered. "Why does it hide its purpose?" His second-in-command answered softly, "Because it is waiting." "Waiting for what?" Arichiquin asked. No one had the courage to answer. Then suddenly, without warning, the object disappeared. Every ship's screen flashed red. Every alarm screamed. Every captain shouted at the same time. "We lost it. We lost the object." Admiral Arichiquin's heart froze. Shadows never disappear. Shadows stay where they are. So where did it go? The galaxy held its breath. And then, a ripple formed in space, like water disturbed by a stone. A shape emerged. A shape the galaxy had not seen in 400 years. A human warship decloaked. Not a small ship. Not a cruiser. Not a carrier. This ship was the size of a small moon. Its armor was pure black, absorbing light. The hull had no markings, no windows, no symbols of peace. Only silent metal, and a presence that felt ancient and angry. Every alien heart turned to ice. Humans were supposed to be extinct. Humans were not part of the galaxy anymore. Humans had been exiled centuries ago, sent into darkness, cut off from all contact. But now, one human ship had returned, and its technology, its power, its silence. It was beyond anything the galaxy had ever built. The Senate chamber exploded with panic. How is this possible? Humans vanished centuries ago. Did they survive the exile? Is this a threat? Is humanity alive? The speaker trembled. Open communications. Now! The warship sent no reply. No greeting. No warning. Then a quiet vibration passed through every ship, every station, every satellite. The human vessel was charging something massive. Admiral Arichiquin shouted, "All fleets form defensive shield. Prepare for hostile action." 500 alien ships pointed their weapons at the lone human warship. Every pilot felt the same cold truth. It did not matter how many they were. It did not matter how strong they were. Against that ship, they were nothing. Inside the Senate Hall, the oldest historian whispered with shaking lips, "The galaxy chose fear over peace when it exiled humans, and now the children of exile return with power we cannot measure." The human ship's engines glowed faintly. Weapons locked. The galaxy expected death. And then, across every speaker, across every ship, across every world, a human voice finally broke the silence. Calm, cold, delivered like a final sentence. We asked for peace. You chose fear. The galaxy realized one terrible truth. This was not an attack. This was judgment. Humanity had returned, and the galaxy had already chosen its own doom. Silence spread across the galaxy after the human ship spoke. Not the silence of peace, but the silence of a wound that finally opens after centuries. Inside the Senate Hall, every species waited for someone else to speak first. Every leader looked guilty. Every historian looked terrified, because the return of a human ship meant one thing. The past was no longer dead. It was coming back to collect its debts. The speaker tried to steady her voice. What do they want? Why appear now? But before anyone could answer, a quiet elder stood. His skin was gray and thin, his eyes dim but sharp. He had lived long enough to remember the vote, to remember the exile, to remember the truth everyone later tried to hide. His voice cracked as he said, "We did this to them." The entire chamber froze. Centuries earlier, the forbidden history. Humans once walked freely among the stars. They were not the strongest species, not the oldest, not the richest, not the most powerful, but they were different. They changed, faster than anyone expected. While other species evolved over millions of years, humans evolved in generations. Technology that took aliens 1,000 years took humans 50. Weapons that aliens could not dream of, humans created in one lifetime. Their ships improved every decade. Their medicine advanced every year. Their energy systems broke every rule of physics the galaxy believed in. At first, the Council welcomed the humans. They admired them. They encouraged them. They even partnered with them. But admiration slowly turned to fear. Alien leaders watched humanity grow and whispered, "They will replace us. They will control the galaxy soon. They learned too fast. They must be stopped." Fear became policy. Policy became action. Action became betrayal. The elder inside the chamber finally said what no one wanted to hear. "We forced humanity into exile. We lied to the galaxy. We called it a peace measure. But it was fear, only fear." Many senators lowered their heads. Some pretended they did not know. Some knew and stayed silent anyway. No one spoke for humans that day. No one saved them. Exile was supposed to destroy them. The Council had planned everything. Cut human supply lines. Block their trade. Disable their gates. Push them toward the dark edge of space, where ancient dangers lived, where no species survived long. The Council expected humanity to fade away. A quiet disappearance. A forgotten species. A problem solved. But the exile humans did not die. They adapted. They built hidden stations inside dead nebulae. They created energy cores that no alien science could understand. They used the darkness as a teacher instead of an enemy. And slowly, too slowly for the galaxy to notice, humanity began to transform. Not just technologically, not just physically, but mentally. They became something new. Something the Council never predicted. Something the galaxy now feared with every heartbeat. Back to the present, the Elder's confession. In the Senate Hall, the Elder continued, "We believed humans were fragile. We believed humans were weak. We believed exile would break them." He swallowed hard, but exile built them. Every senator stared at the hologram of the human warship, a ship that should not exist, a ship no galaxy could build, a ship that carried the silence of a species abandoned to die. A young senator whispered in fear, "If humans survived, what else did they become?" No one answered. Why humanity returned now? Suddenly, alarms echoed across the chamber. A new signal, a new transmission, not from the human ship, but from deep space beyond the known borders. The screens lit up with a disturbing sight, a star collapsing unnaturally, not like a supernova, not like a natural death, but as if something alive, was eating it. Scientists screamed. Commanders froze. Everyone watched the impossible. The speaker turned pale. What is that? No alien could explain it. But one thing was clear. Whatever was consuming that star was moving, and moving in the direction of the galaxy. A cold realization spread. Humanity did not return for revenge. Humanity returned because something worse is coming. Something humans had already seen during their centuries in exile, where the galaxy had thrown them, like a sacrifice. The Elder's final words. The Elder sank into his chair and whispered, "We exiled them to protect ourselves. But in exile, they met the darkness first. Whatever is coming, humans face it before us." The Senate finally understood. Humanity was not the threat. Humanity was the warning. A warning the galaxy ignored for 4 centuries. Now, the warning stood outside their borders. Silent, waiting, watching. The human warship did not fire. It did not attack. It simply waited for the galaxy to remember what it had done. The Elder closed his eyes and whispered, "And now, they return as something we cannot control." The galaxy had never moved this fast. Within minutes, admiral generals and fleet commanders across 7 star systems received the same single message. Human vessel identified. Defensive formation maximum. 500 warships positioned themselves in a curved wall around the human ship, their engines burning bright, ready to fire. The fleets came from dozens of species, some tall, some small, some with wings, some with metal bodies. But every crew member felt the same cold fear. None of them had ever fought a human. None of them wanted to. Inside Admiral HFY's flagship, tension filled the air. He stared at the human vessel again. It did not move. It did not blink. It did not even warm up its weapons. It simply existed, like a quiet judgment floating in space. "Lock weapons," HFY ordered. His voice was steady, but his hands trembled. His officers hesitated. "No!" "Sudden action," one whispered. "We don't know what it can do." They were right. No alien ship could measure the human vessel's mass. No scan could detect its crew. No energy reading made sense. It was like scanning a shadow that refused to be understood. HFY felt something he had never felt in decades of battle. The fear of the unknown. The first contact attempt. Across the fleet, communication officers began transmitting. "This is a Solaris defense network. Identify yourself. Unregistered vessel. State your intentions. You are entering protected territory. Respond immediately. We do not wish for conflict." Their messages disappeared into silence. Not blocked. Not rejected. Just swallowed. The human ship gave no reply. Not even a static pulse. One officer whispered, "Maybe the ship is unmanned." Another said, "Maybe they don't speak our languages anymore." A third muttered what everyone feared. "Maybe they are waiting for us to fire first." The first shot, the mistake that changed everything. A young alien captain from the outer line panicked. His sensors glitched. His computer misread a power surge. He thought the human ship was charging a weapon. He fired. One bright beam of plasma rushed across space, straight toward the silent human vessel. Every admiral screamed, "Stop him! Cease fire! What have you done?" But it was too late. The blast struck the hull. And then something impossible happened. The beam vanished. Not absorbed. Not repelled. Not deflected. It simply disappeared, like light falling into a bottomless well. A single ripple spread across the human ship's armor, gentle and quiet, like a stone dropped in calm water. The aliens froze. Their strongest weapons meant nothing. When the human ship finally moved, for the first time, the human vessel reacted, but not in the way anyone expected. No counterattack, no defensive fire, no retaliation. Instead, the stars around it bent. Gravity shifted. Space folded slightly. The alien ships felt their engines strain, as if the universe itself was holding them in place. On every alien ship, red lights flashed. Gravity lock detected. Mobility, 0%. The fleets could not move. They were trapped. Hundreds of warships, frozen in space like insects in amber. A cold panic spread through the admirals. If they fire now, we cannot dodge. They have complete control of the battlefield. This is not technology. This is a different level of existence. HFY whispered the words no commander wanted to speak. Humans did not come back to fight us. They came back to show us what they became. The voice that spoke to every living being. Then, without warning, every communication system flickered. Every screen turned black. Every speaker vibrated softly. Every heart beat faster. A voice, calm, emotionless, controlled, entered the minds of millions. For 4 centuries, we asked for peace. You answered with exile. The fleets recognized it instantly. A human voice, but not normal. It carried power. It carried clarity. It carried memory. The voice continued. We did not return for revenge. We returned because something approaches your borders. Something you were too afraid to face. The fleets exchanged silent glances. Something worse than humans? Something that made humans return? What kind of monster could that be? The threat beyond the stars. A transmission appeared on their screens, a recording of a dark, impossible event. A star collapsing unnaturally. Its light devoured. Its energy stolen. Its core torn apart by something unseen. The alien fleets gasped. What is that? No creature can consume a star. Is this real? The human voice answered. In exile, we met what you feared. In exile, we learned what you refused to understand. In exile, we changed. The fleets trembled. Humans did not return to conquer the galaxy. Humans returned because the galaxy was now in danger. A danger the Council had hidden for centuries. A danger humans knew better than anyone. The voice spoke again, quiet, final. Prepare your leaders. Prepare your worlds. Prepare yourselves. A moment of silence followed. Then the voice delivered the sentence that shook the galaxy. Your doom is not us. Your doom is coming. The human ship went silent once more, watching the fleets that had once betrayed its people, watching the galaxy finally understand that humanity had not grown into a monster. Humanity had grown into a warning. The galaxy waited. 500 warships were locked in place by invisible gravity. The Senate was frozen in panic. Every citizen across thousands of worlds stared at their screens, breathless, unable to look away. The human ship remained silent for 1 full minute, a silence that felt longer than centuries. Then, from the darkness of the massive vessel, a single message request appeared. Voice transmission only. The admirals exchanged nervous glances. The Senate ordered the channel to open. Every species leaned forward, expecting a commander, a general, or a machine. But what they heard was something none of them imagined. A human voice, young but steady, calm but heavy, filled the air. I speak for those your fear tried to erase. The chamber fell completely silent. This was not the deep voice of a warlord, not the rough voice of a soldier. It was a controlled voice of someone who had survived the impossible, someone honed by centuries of exile. The human commander reveals himself. After a moment, the hologram activated. A figure stood in the projection, tall, straight-backed, wearing a uniform completely unfamiliar to the galaxy. No rank badges, no medals, no national flag, just a dark suit with a single symbol, a small silver circle around a star, the symbol of the exiled human alliance. His face was calm but scarred, not physically, emotionally. His eyes held the weight of centuries of suffering passed down from generation to generation. He introduced himself. I am Commander Vale, born in exile, raised in darkness, forged by the silence you left us in. Every senator stiffened. Every admiral swallowed hard. This was not an angry man. This was not a broken man. This was a man shaped by loss and purpose, the story humanity never told. Commander Aaron did not shout. He did not threaten. He simply spoke. Our ancestors begged for peace. You feared our growth. You feared our mind. You feared our ability to adapt. He paused. So you chose fear, and fear chose exile. Behind him, the hologram shifted showing ancient records, grainy visuals of humans speaking to the council, negotiating desperately as the vote for exile passed. Some senators in the present averted their eyes. Others trembled, ashamed. Aaron continued, "We were cast into shadows you were too afraid to explore. The dark edge of the galaxy, a place you believed would end us." More images appeared. Human ships drifting through radiation storms. Children in dim-lit refuge stations. Generations building new lives in hopeless conditions. The chamber grew emotional. Even war-hardened admirals felt their hearts tighten. Aaron's next words were sharper. "But we did not die." The hologram changed again, showing human engineers building energy cores from collapsed stars. Human scientists creating shields that bent space. Human families rebuilding civilization from nothing. We evolved. The admirals glanced at the enormous human ship. Its existence made sense now. Exile did not weaken humanity. Exile forced them to rise beyond the galaxy. The question the galaxy feared. A senator gathered enough courage to speak. What do you want from us?" Commander Aaron turned his head slightly. His expression did not change. "We want truth." The Senate murmured in confusion. Aaron raised a hand, and the hologram displayed the star-eating anomaly again. A darkness so powerful it consumed light itself. "This is why we returned. This is what grows in the dark you sent us into." One admiral asked, "You fought this?" Aaron nodded. "We survived it. Barely." A wave of panic moved across the fleets. If humans barely survived it, what chance did the rest of the galaxy have? Aaron spoke again, quieter. "You did not just exile us. You threw us towards something that now approaches your worlds." The guilt in the room burned. He continued, "We warned you 4 times in the last century. Your council blocked every message." Gasps echoed across the Senate. "Impossible. Who would do such a thing? They hid the truth from us." Aaron's voice remained steady. "Because they knew you could not face what is coming. Humanity's purpose is revealed." Aaron stepped closer to the hologram. The galaxy felt as if he were looking at each world individually. "We did not return for war. We did not return for revenge. We did not return to take your stars." He paused. "We returned because you cannot survive what is coming without us." That sentence shook the galaxy more than any weapon could. Humans, once feared, were now their only hope. Aaron continued, "We will not destroy you, but we will not serve you. The era of your leadership is over. Now you will listen." The aliens felt a strange emotion rising, a mix of fear, guilt, admiration, and something deeper, respect. Commander Aaron lowered his gaze for the first time. His voice softened. "Our ancestors dreamed of a galaxy united. You broke that dream. Now we rebuild it." The final warning. The hologram flickered as Aaron ended his message. "Prepare the council. Prepare your fleets. Prepare your people." He turned away. This time, exile does not stand alone. The transmission ended. The screen went black, and the galaxy understood the terrible truth. Humanity had not returned as victims. Humanity had not returned as enemies. Humanity had returned as leaders. Because no one else could face the darkness coming. The human ship floated silently at the center of 500 alien warships, each one frozen in place like statues. No beam fired. No missiles launched. No alarm screamed. Only the steady heartbeat of fear echoed across every bridge. Commander Aaron's message had ended, but his ship had not finished speaking. Admiral HFY stood on his flagship, staring at the unstoppable vessel. His officers whispered nervously. What will they do now? Will they destroy us? Will they punish us for the past? But HFY understood something the others did not. Humans did not need to destroy them. Humans only needed to show them. And then something impossible began. A soft glow appeared beneath the human ship, growing like a quiet sunrise. No heat, no danger, just light. It spread outward in thin lines, weaving through space like threads of a web. Within seconds, the light reached the first alien ship. Red lights exploded across their systems. Power drop. Main reactor offline. Life support, stable but weak. We're losing everything. The bridge plunged into darkness. Officers panicked. Pilots shouted. Technicians hit buttons that did nothing. Yet no one was harmed. No one died. The human ship had simply turned them off. The darkness expands. The light web grew wider. Ship after ship lost power. Engines shut down. Weapons fell silent. Artificial gravity flickered and stabilized just enough to keep everyone alive. Every fleet dropped into helpless darkness, unable to move or defend themselves. Within minutes, 500 warships, across 11 species, were powerless. The Senate Hall erupted in fear. What kind of weapon is this? Why are they shutting us down? Are they preparing to attack? This is impossible. No civilization has this kind of control. Scientists scrambled to read the energy pattern. It's not a weapon, one whispered. It's a signal, a command, a code for the universe itself. The speaker trembled. A code written by humans? They all felt the same terrible truth. Humanity had not just advanced. Humanity had rewritten rules the galaxy thought were unbreakable. The stars began to dim. Commander Aaron's voice returned, echoing across every dead ship. Do not panic. We will not harm your crews. We will not destroy your fleets. His voice was calm, dangerously calm. But you must understand what we learned in exile. The human ship released a pulse. Soft, silent, and beautiful like a falling feather. This time, it reached the stars. Across 100 light years, starlight flickered. Bright suns dimmed. Red giants cooled. Blue stars darkened to gray. Entire worlds looked up at their skies in disbelief. On the planet Virion, mothers held their children as daylight faded. On the moon Ethra, workers watched the sky turn cold. On the space station Zirin, engineers cried as their artificial sun dimmed. No star went out completely. No planet was harmed. But every world felt the message. Humans could switch off the light. The galaxy's breaking point. In Admiral Arachikuin's ship, officers tried to speak, but fear locked their throats. Arachikuin forced a whisper. This isn't an attack. It's a demonstration. His officers stared at him. A demonstration of what? Arachikuin swallowed. That our entire civilization, all our power, means nothing. A young pilot sobbed quietly. What kind of species can dim stars? No one answered, because the truth was too frightening. Humans were no longer just another civilization. Humans had become a force of nature. Commander Aaron's message. Once again, Aaron's voice returned, soft, steady, unshaken. This is the energy that eats your borders. This is the power your leaders ignored. This is what chased us in exile. The hologram displayed the star-eating void again, darker and closer than before. Aaron continued, We learn how to control the light, so it cannot take it from us. A chill ran through every admiral. Humans didn't dim the stars for intimidation. They dimmed the stars to prove a point. They had mastered the very thing the galaxy feared most. Aaron spoke again, this time with emotion. When you exiled us, we faced the darkness alone. When you abandoned us, we learned to bend what destroys you. The fleets hung on to every word. Now you understand why your weapons cannot touch us. Why your fleets cannot outrun us. Why your armies cannot resist us. Silence. Then Aaron delivered a line that shook the galaxy's soul. We did not evolve to defeat you. We evolved to survive what hunts you. The stars returned. Slowly, the light web vanished. Power returned to the alien ships. Engines hummed again. Stars brightened across the sky. Not one ship was damaged. Not one life was lost. Humanity had turned the galaxy off, and then turned it back on. A display of unmatched power. Not to conquer, but to warn. The galaxy's realization. The speaker whispered the truth aloud. The humans could have killed us all, yet they harmed no one. A senator trembled. They showed us what they can do. Imagine what they'll do to what's coming. Admiral Archikun looked at the human ship, humbled. They are not our enemy, he said softly. They are the only reason we are still alive. The galaxy slowly regained its light. Stars brightened. Engines restarted. Systems hummed again, but the fear did not go away. If anything, the fear grew heavier, because now the galaxy knew humanity had power far beyond anyone. And yet, they still had not attacked. This raised a terrifying question. If humans were not the threat, then what was? Inside the Senate Hall, the speaker tried to stand tall, but her legs shook under the weight of truth. She activated the universal broadcast. "Commander Aaron Vale," she said, her voice trembling. "You asked us to prepare. We are listening. What is coming?" All screens turned black. A moment of silence passed. Too long, too heavy, too deliberate. Then Commander Aaron's face appeared again, but this time the shadows around him seemed deeper. His eyes were colder, his tone more serious. The galaxy leaned closer. The darkness humanity learned to fear. Aaron did not start with threats. He did not speak about the past. He did not mention exile. He spoke only of one thing: the Voidborn. A single word that made every translator stutter. "The creature that eats stars," Aaron said slowly, "is not a creature. It is a harvest." The Senate gasped. A scientist whispered, "A harvest of what?" Aaron continued, "It does not consume stars for energy. It does not attack planets for resources. It does not seek life. It seeks heat, motion, existence itself." The galaxy felt cold. Aaron projected images, real, terrifying recordings. A star fading like a candle. Planets freezing in silence. Space sewing itself shut behind a moving shadow. Entire star systems collapsing with no explosion, just quiet erasure. Aaron's voice remained calm. "The Voidborn believes a universe should be silent. It sees creation as chaos. It hunts everything that moves." The Senate trembled. It was not a war. It was extinction. Why the council hid the truth? One senator forced a weak question. Why did our leaders never tell us?" Aaron closed his eyes briefly, then reopened them. "Because they believed telling you would break you." Gasps spread through the Senate. Aaron continued, "When our ancestors first met the Voidborn, we sent warnings. Your council intercepted them. They did not want a galaxy of panic. They did not want riots. They did not want fear." He looked directly into the camera. "So they passed that fear to us." Every leader in the chamber felt shame crawl across their skin. The galaxy had not exiled humans out of strategy. The galaxy had exiled humans out of cowardice. The secret war in the dark. Aaron projected another recording. This one showed human ships, older, weaker, nothing like the massive vessel they commanded now. Fighting in darkness. Small ships burned. Some imploded. Others vanished entirely. Human soldiers screamed warnings into the comms. "It's learning our movements. It's copying our heat. It's inside the shadows. Fall back, fall back." The battle ended with silence. Only a few ships survived. Aaron explained, "For centuries, our people fought alone. We studied it. We survived it. We learned how to slow it, but never stop it." His voice lowered. "Humanity did not become powerful by choice. We became powerful because weakness meant extinction. Why humans return today?" The speaker whispered, "So why return now?" Aaron nodded toward a star map. The dark region representing the Voidborn had expanded, slowly at first, then rapidly, now pushing against the galaxy's borders. "Because it has changed," Aaron said. "It is faster now, smarter, hungrier." He pointed at the map. "It will reach your worlds in 70 years. Panic erupted. 70 years. That's one generation. We cannot build defenses in time. What do? Aaron silenced the room with a raised hand. "You cannot survive alone. You cannot fight alone. You cannot hide." He leaned forward. "You need us." The galaxy hated the truth, but they felt it in their bones. Humanity's new purpose. Aaron straightened his uniform. "We came not to rule you, not to punish you, but to unite you." The senators exchanged confused looks. "Unite?" one asked. Aaron nodded. "Yes, we have the technology to fight the Voidborn. You have the numbers. We have the weapons. You have the resources. We have the knowledge. You have the worlds. His voice deepened. If we fight separately, we die separately. If we fight together, we survive together. For the first time, his tone showed emotion, not anger, not revenge, but something unexpected. Hope, the condition that shocked the galaxy. But then Aaron added, "We will protect your worlds. We will share our knowledge. We will help you fight." He paused. But humanity does not kneel. Not again. Not ever. A wave of silence crashed across the galaxy. The message was clear. Humans would lead. The galaxy would follow. Or the galaxy would burn. Not because humans demanded loyalty, but because survival demanded unity. Aaron delivered his final sentence. "Prepare your leaders. Prepare your fleets. When the void board arrives, your choice would decide your fate." The transmission ended. The galaxy exhaled, but the fear remained, because now they finally understood. Humanity did not return because they were powerful. Humanity returned because time was running out. The galaxy had no time left. Commander Aaron's warning echoed in every world, every home, every ship. Some clung to hope, some clung to fear, but all of them knew one truth. The Voidborn was coming. In the Senate Hall, leaders of every species gathered. Some shaking, some crying, some furious, some silent. Holograms of distant stars collapsing were still displayed above them like ghosts of futures waiting to happen. The speaker rose and addressed the galaxy's most important meeting in 10,000 years. "Commander Aaron Vale has shown us what humanity became and what hunts us. Today we choose our path." But no one knew how to speak. No one knew how to decide, because there were only 3 choices, and all of them felt like chains. The galaxy's arguments began. The Vecran leader slammed her claws on the table. "Humans demand leadership. If we follow them, we surrender our freedom." A small, quiet species replied, "If we don't follow them, we surrender our lives." A massive stone-skinned general growled, "Our fleets are strong. We can fight without them." But his aide whispered, 500 of our ships were disabled without a single attack." Silence fell again, because the galaxy had seen the truth. Humans could wipe them out in minutes, but humans had not. Instead, humans offered alliance, not mercy, not friendship, but alliance based on survival. A rare admiral from the aquatic worlds finally spoke. "We exiled them once, and they survived alone. The Voidborn will not give us that luxury. We must decide before it arrives." The human fleet decloaks. As the Senate debated, a sensor alarm rang through the entire chamber. The entire galaxy turned their eyes to the sky, and then they saw it, across dozens of systems. Space rippled like waves on water. Stars bent, gravity stretched, shadows deepened. Thousands of human ships decloaked at once. Not 1, not 10, not 100. 9,000 human vessels. Some as large as cities. Some as sleek as arrows. All silent, all watching. The galaxy froze in awe and terror. The human fleet formed a wall between the Voidborn's direction and the galaxy. A shield of moon-sized warships, dark as night, bearing the same silver circle symbol. Admiral Arichikun whispered, "By the stars, this is not a fleet. This is a civilization reborn." Another admiral muttered, "This is power beyond empires." A senator dropped to her knees. How did exile create this? No one could answer. Commander Aaron returns. The hologram flickered. Commander Aaron's face appeared one last time, but now he wore a different uniform. A commander's mantle made of a dark fabric that never reflected light. A symbol glowing on his chest. A star inside a circle, now surrounded by 7 smaller rings. He looked older, heavier, as if carrying the weight of entire extinct worlds. He spoke softly. "The Voidborn has accelerated. It will reach your outer systems in 30 years. Gasps echoed. 30 years. 1 generation. Not enough time for the galaxy to prepare. Aaron continued, "Humanity will not run. We will not hide. We will stand, as we have stood for 4 centuries. He looked through the screen into the hearts of every viewer. But the galaxy must choose. The 3 paths. Aaron raised his hand, and 3 symbols appeared. A raised fist, an open hand, a burning star. He explained, Path 1, you kneel. Submit to human command. We lead. You follow. We survive together. Some leaders bristled. Many looked tempted. Path 2, you stand with us as equals. We share everything, knowledge, power, fleets. You fight beside us. We live or die together. This path earned murmurs of hope. Then Aaron showed the final symbol. Path 3, you refuse. We do not fight you, but we do not protect you. He paused. And the Void-born will end your worlds in silence. No threat, no anger, just a statement of fact. The Senate couldn't breathe. The vote that decided the galaxy's fate. For the first time in history, every leader voted not by words, but by standing. Those who wished to kneel stepped left. Those who wished to stand as equals stepped right. Those who wished to refuse remained seated. Cameras across the galaxy captured the moment. In the end, only 4 species knelt, those already too frightened to survive alone. 7 species refused, too proud to accept help, even from doom. All others, hundreds of worlds, thousands of leaders, stepped to the right. They chose to stand with humanity. They chose unity. They chose survival. A wave of emotion swept the chamber. For the first time in 4,000 years, the galaxy was united, not under an empire, not under fear, but under necessity. Humanity's final declaration. Commander Aaron nodded silently. He did not smile. He did not celebrate. He simply accepted the weight of history. Then we stand together. Behind him, the 9,000 human ships aligned into a single massive formation, a shield wall between life and the approaching darkness. Aaron spoke one last time. We did not choose exile. You chose it. The galaxy held its breath. We did not choose war. The Void-born chose it. A long silence, then the final sentence that echoed across the stars. But from this day forward, no one faces the dark alone. The connection ended. And for the first time since the galaxy began, aliens and humans alike felt the same thing. Hope. Hope built from unity. Hope born from fear. Hope forged by exile. And above them all, 9,000 human ships turned their bows toward the void, ready for the war that would decide the fate of creation.